So it was hard to keep up with all the comments from yesterday on Zach Wilson's video. So here's just a general response to those comments, because the number one rebuttal I got was that it's not Zach Wilson's fault. It's Mike LaFleur, Mike LaFraud. He's the problem. And there's just no evidence to suggest that Mike LaFleur was the biggest issue in yesterday's game, or the biggest issue in Zach Wilson's development or lack thereof in terms of a play caller. Now, the coaching staff is not getting off the hook completely in this video, but first, let's roll the all 22. Shout out to Michael Nania for these clips. Let's take a look at 2 plays from the Patriots game. Okay, in the first one, we see Denzel Mims in what people in the business call wide ass open. And Zach Wilson is looking directly at him after Denzel Mims is behind the final defender. That is a layup, slam dunk, easy 7 point. That's the ball game. Ball game. Make that throw, ball game. Then you see Tyler Conklin. Again, pretty much a clean pocket. They pick up the blitz. They double team Judon Conklin over the middle. Wide open by NFL standards. In fact, if he's hit in stride, he's got the yak ability, and he's probably inside the red zone. That's points there as well. And then if we hit either of those 2 plays, we're talking about possibly winning the football game. Now, I'm not going to take all of Michael Nania's clips. Go follow him on Twitter. I want to give credit where credit is due. But when you do go watch these clips, here's what you're going to see. You're also going to see a wheel route to Ty Johnson. I know we're like, come on, we're drawing up plays to Ty Johnson. But hey, Ty Johnson beats the defender by 4 yards. He's wide open on a wheel route. If Zach Wilson throws an accurate ball, it's like a 30-yard gain. If he throws a perfect pass, it might be a touchdown. Ty Johnson has to come back to the ball to break up what was almost an interception, the defender catching it but is out of bounds. You're also going to see an out and up to Garrett Wilson, where he is, again, by NFL standards, wide open, 3-4 yards of separation, given the old Ole with the hand. Zach Wilson underthrows it by 5 yards. Garrett Wilson has to work back to the football and basically play defense to break up a would-be interception. All right, so you're talking about if Zach Wilson completes any of those 4 passes, it's probably points, and it's a whole different game. We might win it. You're also going to see the gift-wrapped interception over the head of Tyler Conklin that could have been easily picked off. There's 2 other passes that could have been pick sixes. One of them was dropped by a safety. The other one, the defensive back just made a really good break on the ball. So I've seen good quarterbacks throw a pick that way. But you're talking about 3 interceptions that could have been had on the day. 2 of them could have gone back for 6. You're going to see 2 screen passes that are airmailed over the heads of Braxton Berrios and Denzel Mims. Uncatchable balls on tunnel screens thrown at the line of scrimmage. You're going to see a ball that skips 10 feet in front of Elijah Moore. You're going to see a ball that skips 5 feet in front of a Denzel Mims, who's frustrated and yelling after the play. You're going to see Elijah Moore get open on a comeback. Again, wide ass open on a comeback route for an easy pitch and catch 10 yards. Zach Wilson is late. He's high. He's outside. It carries Elijah Moore out of bounds, even though Elijah catches it. You're going to see a sack where Zach Wilson has a quick out to Elijah Moore, wide open 5 yards in the flat, pump fakes, holds onto it, gets sacked, nearly fumbles. You're going to see a sack where Zach Wilson has Garrett Wilson wide open over the middle for 8 yards and a first down, looking right at him, doesn't throw it, gets sacked. You're going to see the last play, the 3rd and 1, where I'm jumping out of my seat yelling at the play call. And then you're going to notice Michael Carter standing wide open in the flat for like 5 seconds before Zach Wilson looks there. And then you're going to see Elijah Moore on a drag route literally right in front of Zach Wilson's face for 5 yards in the first down. Even if he just sees Elijah Moore and completes a 5-yard pass there, at worst case scenario, we're going to overtime. And you know what? When the Patriots actually brought that punt back, I wasn't even like mad. I was numb. It just felt like they put us out of our misery because we had no shot to win this game. You can't win a game without a quarterback. We literally didn't have a quarterback. The only way we could have won that game is maybe if the defense or our own special teams got a score of their own. There's the only way that game was going to go our way. And I thought the play calling did lack creativity. I thought it felt stale. It felt Adam Gase. I think we continue to not utilize Zach Wilson's mobility. But my goodness, you are handcuffed as a play caller if your quarterback can't execute the most fundamental components of the sport. And when you draw up 4 plays of 40 yards plus, gimme slam dunk wide opens, and you go 0 for 4 on 3 horrible passes and 1 just deciding not to throw the ball for no reason, what are you supposed to do? What are you supposed to do? It's a very similar game plan to the one we had against Buffalo, but in one game we had a functioning NFL quarterback, and the other game we didn't. I mean, we couldn't run the ball. You know why? Because the Patriots went into this game and they said, you do not have a quarterback. Prove us wrong. Run blitzing on 1st and 2nd down often. We couldn't prove them wrong. Stack in the box all day. This was as bad as I've ever seen a Jets starting quarterback play on a good team, I think. It's up there. Take the emotion out of it. Like if that was a backup, if we just recently got a backup quarterback and I saw that, I'd say, okay, we need a new backup. We need a better backup. And it's not just one game. It's not just one throw. It's not. Let's compare. Let's compare what Mike LaFleur has done with some other quarterbacks with the Jets. All right. It's not a perfect comparison. There's some differences here. Now, this is just for sake of convenience because I tweeted this out, but this is per Pro Football Reference and a calculator. If you want to double check me on it, go ahead. Maybe I'm off by a decimal point somewhere, but here it is. In 2021 and 2022, here is Mike LaFleur's passing attack with a 37, 38-year-old Joe Flacco and 2 practice squad level third stringers for the majority of their career quarterbacks in Mike White and Josh Johnson. In those games, our quarterbacks completed 63% of their passes, 16 touchdowns to 12 picks, 7.4 yards per attempt, 256 yards per game, and were sacked on 4% of their dropbacks. With Zach Wilson in 2022, I scrapped his rookie numbers because it would look even worse. But I'm like, you know what? We'll give him a pass as a rookie. Zach Wilson this year, 55% completions, 4 touchdowns to 5 picks, 6.8 yards per attempt, 183 yards per game, and sacked on 8% of passes. And you know what? Scrap the yards per game. Who cares? Because before, we just had an all-pro running back that got hurt. So if we're running the ball more, I don't care. But the efficiency numbers, 8% higher in completion percentage, getting sacked half the amount of times. We always say, oh, Joe Flacco would have gotten sacked a million times in that game. No, he wouldn't have because he would have just thrown the ball. Zach Wilson holds the ball into twice as many sacks as his mobility escapes him from. He does. That there's literally evidence of it right there. I mean, is the 2022 Jets offensive line and weapons and defense and supporting cast and coaching all in their second year, is that worse than 2021? I mean, if we were getting the top numbers, we could win the conference with that. That's normal, functioning, regular quarterbacking. And name me the second-year quarterback that has gone on to be a franchise guy that in their second year was significantly less efficient than geriatric Joe Flacco or practice squad third string level Mike White and Josh Johnson. I could think of one, Geno Smith, but we don't have a decade to wait or a Hall of Fame coach to turn him around. This isn't normal. I know I'm going to get a lot of responses. You're a hater. It's typical Jets fans. It's New York media. You're saying nothing. None of that is evidence. The Buffalo Jet fan being an asshole is not evidence that Zach Wilson is a competent quarterback. This is not normal. This is not on Jets fans. In fact, Jets fans are the only fan base that would remotely accept this because we don't even know what good quarterback play looks like. You bring up Jimmy G and Derek Carr and we laugh. Oh, I don't want Jimmy G. He's a bum. Jimmy G could complete 65% of his passes with his eyes closed. You know what Derek Carr did in his second year? He made the Pro Bowl. 32 touchdown passes to 13 picks for a dumpster fire organization. By Derek Carr's third year, he's screaming towards a 1 seed and an MVP if he doesn't get hurt. Other teams jettison, get rid of, throw away quarterbacks who are better than this. This is not normal. This is not acceptable. I mean, and if it is Mike LaFleur, because here's the problem with the coaching staff, I'm not letting them off the hook because why is Zach Wilson not getting better? Like, even if he's not the guy, why is he not getting better? There is not a single area of quarterbacking that you can look from year 1 to year 2 that Zach Wilson has significantly gotten better at? Not one. And when you say the win-loss record, okay, but Mac Jones has the best win-loss record out of any quarterback in that draft class. Do you really think Mac Jones is the best quarterback in that draft class? So no, that doesn't tell the whole story, and we all know that. So why isn't he improving? That, to me, is a referendum on the coaching a little bit. Why is Dan Orlovsky consistently tweeting out these tweets that Zach Wilson is going through his progressions wrong and going through the reads wrong? And why is Kurt Warner and Trent Dilfer and all these other quarterbacks who are showing the film and breaking it down and not just being Jets haters, why are they saying that? Why? Zach Wilson's not lazy. So what's going on? I don't understand. I don't understand. But it's not a play calling issue because there's wide ass open dudes all the time. And the pass pro was fine. And the pass pro isn't bad enough for him to get sacked at twice the clip of the other guys we just mentioned who aren't even nearly as mobile as him. Got to figure this out. Go Jets.